discipline and choice.
Yes.
But this is Africa and Kenya in particular. In terms of time management, especially in our corporate space and even in our businesses that we own, managing the time is a bit of a challenge. And when I look at the Asian side of things, they usually bring their families or their children or their next of kin to their businesses or their workplaces. Is this something that we should try and incorporate as fathers and leaders in the corporate space to cater for that particular time lost when I'm traveling out or doing some overtime in the office, so maybe I can look in my family in the business? What's your take on that?
Well, I think that's also an interesting question. Of course, if it's a family-run business, then you have the leeway to invite everybody over. And when they're coming, they also come in to do specific things. They're not just coming to sit next to you so that you feel that you're spending time, because you could be next to someone, but you are really not there with them because everybody's doing their own thing. So it's good for families to know where the parents work, not just the father, the mother also. But in many cases, you don't have that leeway. You could also be in environments where only authorized people are allowed to come in. If it's a factory setting, then you cannot invite people. We have many African businesses or ventures where family is involved. So you find they are working there and somehow they get to see each other and spend time together. But certainly, I would say that workplaces should embrace family. And actually, when children get to see where the parents are working, where the father is working, where the mother is working, then they get a good understanding of how the father operates, so that when they see one day the father is late, then they understand actually he's late because of A, B, and C, and not thinking that they have been neglected.
Very well. So that's a very powerful point there. So having conversations with our children as a dad, you need to look them in the decision making, or maybe your travel planning and schedules, your working calendar and all that, so maybe they can understand how you bring in this money and how you use your time as well. This is more of a mentorship. As
Yes.
I say, mentorship is the fruit, or rather it's the basis of continuity, it's the basis of the bright future that we're looking at. So how do you envision having these tough conversations with our children in the African setting?
Well, I wouldn't call them tough conversations because effective fatherhood also involves being present with the children right from the time they're young, from the time they're born. And you start some conversations early enough. You don't wait until they're grown up and then you start to have some conversations. And what I'm trying to say is that difficult and easy conversations, uncomfortable conversations that could be seen to be awkward, are started early enough. And if they started early enough, then there's a free space between you and the children to be able to talk about anything. And so I would say getting them to understand you better, getting them to understand how you operate, your timing and all that, that will come when you start to engage your children as early as possible and speak with them about everything, both good and bad, easy and tough, and get them to understand how life operates as early as possible.
Very well, Lawrence. Gets me to a point where I was reflecting about fatherhood, just the basic introduction to fatherhood.
Yes.
I don't know how old were you when you started this journey, and who inspired you maybe to do your fatherhood, to do your fatherhood in the right way. And in this, I'm asking because our sisters, our mothers, our cousins, they usually have forums where they can actually talk, mentor each other. We have baby showers, we have bridal showers, we have, first baby visit. They come and help them to wash the baby and all that. But now, from your own experience as a dad, who really showed you the way? And how old were you?
Yes, I'll go right to answer the question. So I became a father when I was 28 years old. I was married already for 2 years. And for me, it was an honor and a pleasure to become a father. And our son now is 25 years old. Really, that's an adult. That's a firstborn, so we have others that followed. I was inspired, I would say, by my dad, my late dad, who passed on this year. And I saw him as a father who was present. He was always there, in his own style. In his own style, he was there, though we never got to discuss a lot of things that I discuss with my children at an early age. But it was more of the traditional father. You make sure you provide, you protect, you're there, school fees, how are you performing in school? You're okay, you're comfortable. And that for them was, I would say, a way of showing that I care and I love you and you are in good hands. So, of course, I took that up, plus other aspects of fatherhood, which I have read and I've seen other people practicing some different styles of fatherhood, like, just being open with the children, discussing some difficult topics, about sex, about pressures, and about different things, challenges that face young children from an early age. So some of those you read. I also had, together with my wife, the opportunity to attend even parenting classes in different spaces, mostly coming from the church space. So we've done parenting classes, even as we were parents already, and these have been very, very helpful. And there are different programs that I would say fathers or aspiring fathers can go to and get to learn about effective parenting, which in there includes effective fatherhood.
Wow, very well, very well. So I'm looking at the point of someone who has no privilege, or rather, they're starting their lives with case in point. Someone is growing up in the village. They're now done with campus, college, and they have someone here. They're already getting into the family space. They have a baby. He is a dad.
Yes.
They really want to grow in their career. They also want to be present fathers. They also want to be responsible fathers. However, the pressures around them actually surpasses their understanding at that level. From the few interviews we've had with a couple of dads,
Yes.
they find themselves in a wave of confusion. How am I going to be a present dad, whereas I have to put in more hours in work, or maybe do two jobs to sustain my family? And at the same time, the counterpart or the wife or the partner is not also understanding what is happening. Do you think this will be the case, or rather the cause of most of the pressures that the fathers are facing? So running away, like you just mentioned, so stay in the office for long hours or stay in the workplace for long hours just to keep the pressure at bay, or maybe find those travel plans just to keep the pressures again, the responsibility at bay. So how would you maybe help, or rather advise this young dad who's just starting off with no one actually around him? How can he better his fatherhood?
Okay, I would say first of all that if you asked the mother about the kind of pressures she's facing, and ask the fathers to take this kind of pressure, I think it's going to be a very, very big challenge, because you have to carry the baby, you have all those hormonal changes, you have a lot of things happening, and the mother and the baby are basically one unit. So the mothers go through a lot. I would not in any way try to compare what mothers are going through with the kind of so-called pressures that we are saying as fathers we are going through. I think we are talking of the aspect of provision, because you have to work hard so that the family is provided for. But in this modern world, the mothers are also working. So they are working as well as having to carry the pregnancy, having to breastfeed, having to do all those things. So the pressure there is much, much more. So I think if you put them on a scale, you'll see that I don't think any father should be complaining about too much pressure, that you now leave everything to the mother. Yes, the pressure will be there in terms of work, and those are personal choices that people have to make, really. you want a particular quality of lifestyle, and you want to work for it. And so within that, you factor in parenting if you have children. When our son, our firstborn son, was at 5 months old, he moved into his own room. Yeah, and when he moved into his own room, it meant that when he wakes up at night to take milk, somebody has to go and give him the milk in the bottle, and that was me. So I did that. So every night until when he stopped, waking up at night, that was my responsibility. That helped us in bonding a lot during those formative years. It helped a lot in bonding that even if I was traveling, then somehow the child feels attached to you. So what I'm trying to say, are there windows that you could take up as a young father to bond with your children, to spend time with them, when the mother is not there, and just see the whole aspect of parenting in a balanced way, not just looking at yourself as a man, because we're in this modern world, the women are also working, they're also doing a lot, and so we need to tag team and support each other, and that's the approach. In some cases, I know there are people who deliberately run away from those responsibilities, not because they are too much, that's not what they have grown up saying. In the culture it's different, probably it's even a taboo, and so those are some of the things that we need to rewrite. We need to undo some of those things and do it the proper way, I would say.